Okay, hello everyone. I'm going to make another recipe here that I like really well. It's going to be guacamole. I wasn't a big fan of guacamole, but I do love it on some Mexican food, and I've made a lot of Mexican food lately. So this is a prep time. There's some pickled jalapenos I diced. There's already an onion that I had in the fridge that I started with. Avocados, green chili. I'm going to put some Rotel in there. I got some cilantro and I'm out of lime juice, so I'm going to use lemon juice. Doesn't bother me a bit. But what this video is about is the onion. You're going to see people tell you to slice the onion this way, then slice the onion this way, lengthwise, 4 or 5 times, then to dice it up. I had to remove some onions about 3 weeks old, so I had to remove a little bit of it, but it's still fine. Ain't going to hurt nobody. But they tell you to slice it this way before you dice it up. After you slice it this way, then you slice it lengthwise. Then you slice it this way and you dice it up. And I'm telling you, that's idiotic. There is no reason to take your knife and slice the onion this way. You're just adding more cuts to it and the possibility of slicing your fingers. So we're going to do the experiment here. We're going to do this one that way, and this one without slicing them lengthwise. And I'll put it on the plate here after I'm done and take videos of that. So the first thing I'll show you is the first one. Okay, so as you can see, all I've done was slice the crossways and then slice it lengthwise, and you can see it's already just tearing apart. So that's one of the problems you'll have doing that, which is idiotic. So to be careful not to do that, you're going to be less careful about cutting your fingers. So yeah, I probably did it wrong, but let me finish up what I'm showing you here. All right, that's what the dice looks like before I plate it. So let me break it up and plate it. Okay, that's what they look like. So they're diced fine. It works. It's fine. But it's 4 extra cuts that you don't need to make. Let me show you why. Instead of making, these things are layered. Onions are so layered, it's pathetic. So why would you need to make extra cuts this way when you already have layers that direction? So just make a couple more cuts this way and make them finer this direction, and it's going to dice smaller. So let me finish it up. That is a look at your onion with all those dices, all those layers. You're going to tell me putting 3, 4, or 5 more cuts this direction is going to make it's not going to make any difference. Putting 4 or 5 more cuts in the direction of the layers is just idiotic. But it's something that people like to feel important about, and it's, all right, do it, go ahead. I don't bother. I tried that like 3 times and I realized how stupid it was. And I just do it this way now. And look at how thin I'm making those. That's a pretty fine dice and is good for any recipe you're ever going to make. You can do it. It's even easier to do a coarse dice. But here's a fine dice. Let me finish this up. This is what that dice looks like. That's what that dice looks like. If you see any difference in there that's going to make any difference when you're cooking, I dare you to point it out. Now you might have these little pieces like this that are going to be a little bit bigger, where it was closer to the stem. These pieces closer to the stem. Look at that, still breaking up. That's close to the stem of the onion. So the biggest thing is just leave the stem on the onion until you dice it up, and don't worry about any cross cuts. Just slice it one direction, mince it the other, towards the stem, and be done with it. And that's all there is to it. I'm going to plate this up, show you the final result. So as you can see, when it's plated, the one I did without doing the cross slices, but I did finer cuts, actually made a bigger pile of finer ones than that one did. So that one I did first with the cross cuts, and it made coarser cuts because I wasn't trying to be fine with it. So yeah, go ahead, do it that way. You can make coarser cuts, or you can just take out the cross cuts, cut your damn onion, and the biggest problem you're going to have is this piece right here, which is right by the root. And that's the only one I screwed up on out of that whole thing right there. And so if I have to go back and redice that, ooh, wow, that hurts. This one right here, I could actually take some more off and dice that up. Ooh, wow, that hurts too. But there is no difference in not doing the cross cuts. Don't waste your time. It's stupid. I hope you learned something. I hope I lured you. Don't like, don't share, don't subscribe, don't care. So hello, this is my guacamole recipe. I'll post the recipe, but I've doubled it up. So there's rotel, diced tomatoes with green chili. Plus I put a couple tablespoons, about 5 tablespoons of green chilies in there. Some jalapeno. I use cilantro, dried cilantro, garlic powder, and salt, and white pepper. And the next thing to go in is going to be the guacamole that I hatched up. Cut it in half and hatched it up so when I spoon it out, it spoons out easier, mashes up quicker, and comes out great. So let me do that real quick because this will be a quick video, but I'll add it onto the one I did about dicing onions. Also, before you get too excited, these are the pits from the stem of the avocado. Some of these are riper than others, so it's hard to find, but you might want to make sure that you get those out of there. And this one will be right there. So you need to make sure that you don't let that get in there because that'll be a nasty bite. Some of these are riper than the others, and I got them at Costco, and I was surprised that they're not all the same ripeness. Some of them a little bit lighter than the other ones. The ones that are actually those darker ones, those are actually not quite as ripe, so they're a little bit stiffer. Also makes it easier. You see how easy that comes out when you cross hatch it. This stuff peels right out and it's so easy. So yeah, oh wow, this is delicious. This is uncommonly good. So I'm going to mash it up here, even smaller, just a little bit. You don't have to get too angry with it. You just want to make sure it's all incorporated really well. And it's delicious. And this is one of the best recipes I've ever done for Mexican food because it comes out the same every time. The only difference is the difference between the lime flavor and the lemon flavor, or roasting the jalapeno and tomato over just using pre-packaged like the Rotel original diced tomatoes with green chilies. And in this one I used pickled jalapenos because I didn't have any more jalapenos. And it came out awesome. So I'm going to piggy this guacamole recipe with the info I did on how to not have to slice an onion sideways. God, I hate it when people tell you to turn the onion sideways and slice across the grain. It's idiotic. So anyway, enjoy because this is delicious. And you're going to make the best avocado toast in the morning with this stuff you'll ever taste. Enjoy.